Okay, so communications has been on the talk of the town for a little bit. So let's take it one step further. Working on my ham, I've got a bunch of books now. And if I'm going to try to find something, it just takes forever to go through all the books. So I broke it down to what I need. Yours may be totally different. I broke it down into one small book where I can get what I need quick. And some of this you might find interesting or useful. Some may not be. You got to know what your radio can do, what your radio can't do. First of all, where can it go? Where can it, what's its capabilities? But for me, this is just me. I'm showing you what I've done. Got this down into one book. And I don't know, I think there's 50 pages in here. I just printed them off straight from the computer because this is all public information. This is what I'm going to try to drive home while you still can look up this stuff. But anyway, in my book, whether I want to monitor, whether I want to transmit, you still got to know where the frequencies are, whether you're listening or whether you want to participate. Either way, you got to know where the frequencies are. You got to know what your radio can do, where it can go, where it can't. And once you figure that out, in my book, from where I'm at this point, I've got a book of the phonemic alphabets, the Q codes, the simplex frequencies, Morse code, the Northwest Georgia Radio Club, which is where I'm at, what frequencies, what offsets, what tones to get to the repeaters. I got a list of the 240 frequencies on my CB radio. Yes, most of them are 40, mine's 240, but I've got the license to deal with that. The GMRS mobile, General Mobile Radio Service frequencies. And that's becoming very popular, but what are those frequencies? You can look them up right now and write them down and dial them in if you need to or want to. NOAA frequencies, what are they? I mean, everybody picks up a radio and it comes on automatically, but what if your radio don't? If you can type in the frequency you want, you can pull it up. On Chirp, as I programmed in my radios, I actually there's an option there to not be able to transmit so that I don't accidentally pick up the radio and hit the transmit key. And you can do that with Chirp as you're programming your radio. When I say that, I'm talking about the little Bell phones, any of them. Anyway, voice nets by states, North Georgia GMRS, the MERS, all these are frequencies that I'm bringing up. Multi-use radio services, what are those frequencies? There's only 5 of them, I think. The Georgia nets, the local nets. Local nets are like maybe county or a small area or a city or two close by, little small cities or whatever. Is the people that do have ham, I don't know, probably 80% of them are just the technician license. So they're going to be on 2 meter or 70 centimeters. So I've got a list of just that because that's where most people are going to be. And what are the repeaters, in the local areas to cover those two? I listened just the other night for the first time of the Georgia Aries playing, and it was just a practice run. What that is like not anybody can get really on it. It's you got to sign up and take a course depending on which what's the word here? Which part of it you want to work. So, it could be traffic, it could be medical, it could be, I don't know, there's two or three different areas. Okay, and I'm not in any of those, but I know what the frequencies are, so I can go and just listen to it. And I did listen to one the other night. It was pretty cool. What are the activation protocols? I read about them, so as I listened to these guys talk, I understood what they was doing and how it works. But you got to have the frequencies. Emergency ops. There's some you just avoid, but you can monitor. The MCOMs, that was part of the Aries thing. When I say Aries, I don't even know what it stands for anymore. It's just a group of hams working together of what I was just telling you. They may work with simplex, they may work with packets, they may work in WinLink, or different options. But what are the frequencies? It's public information. I've got some of the repeaters in the states next to me because I can get out a little ways. And I've got a big book of all the repeaters all over the country, but this book is just for right now, real quick. And then the second part of the middle part of the book, it breaks down into all the bands. That tells me personally where this may not interest you, but it just tells me where I can go for simplex or digital packets, and where those repeaters are. And, can I go to the high side? Can I go to the low side? And then you get into some of the federal stuff like American Red Cross, Urban Search and Rescue, FEMA, GEMA, logistics, medical systems. It's all public information. What's your area of frequencies? You might want to pick one or two. Write them down or put them in your radio if you have the ability. And the last part of the book is the antenna. I just call it antenna everything. It's all the calculations, all the math. And basically you can take a speaker wire and just get by if you had to in an emergency. But you got to know the lengths, and you got to know inverted V's and end feds and all that kind of stuff. So in the back part of the book, I've got all my antenna information in case I'm not here. I've got to make one somewhere else. You may not need to know all that, but there's something out of that list that will help you, that you need to go while you still got the ability to do so, and start finding the frequencies and write them down so you know what to listen to. Just turn your radio on and scanning through it may not tell you anything. But if you get your local stuff, it will help you later on.